third episode. In this episode, we can see how nodule formation takes place by the symbiotic bacteria. Nodule formation is very essential for the conversion of this atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. So rhizobium is the most popular example. By taking this example, we can easily appreciate how these nodules are produced in the leguminous plants. Rhizobium is a rod-shaped bacterium present inside the soil. So here, this is the, you can see this is the root epidermis. This is the root epidermis, and these are the root hairs. These are the root hairs, and these are soil particles. These are soil particles, and in between these soil particles, we can observe these bacteria. These are bacteria. Soil particle, and this is rhizobium. This is root epidermis, and these are root hairs. This nodule formation takes place in different steps, in different stages. Nodule formation. So nodule formation occurs in different stages. In the first stage, this the root hairs. This is the host plant epidermis. This is cortex. The host plant releases some chemicals like sugars, amino acids. And by these chemicals, the rhizobium bacteria are attracted. In the first stage, rhizobia are normally present in the soil, in between the soil particles. And whenever the host plant, legume plant, it releases some chemicals like sugars and amino acids. And these rhizobia are attracted by these chemicals. Chemicals are attracted, and the rhizobia multiply and colonize. So in the second step, next step, these rhizobia are accumulated So all the rhizobia are attracted by the chemicals. These are the soil particles. And these rhizobia, they multiply, and they get attached to the, finally they get attached to the epidermis. Like epidermis, they attach of that. They attach to the epidermis. And in the next stage, the root hairs curve. Whenever the rhizobia are accumulated around the surrounding of the root hair, due to the activity of these rhizobia, the root hair becomes curved. Root hair meliki tirigipotundi vachina vankar laga ayitadannamata. Curling vastundi. Curling of root hairs takes place in the second step. In the third step, an infection thread is formed. If you observe the rhizobium epidermis, and in fact, the epidermal wall of the root hair becomes disintegrated. An infection thread is formed like this. This is the infection thread, and this infection thread slowly it migrates. So this is called infection thread. And this infection thread, it slowly migrates through the root hair. This is the root hair. This is the epidermis, and these are cortical cells. And this infection thread slowly it passes through the root hair, and it enters into the epidermis, and finally it enters into the root hair cells. These are the enters into the cortical cells. These are the cortical cells, where inside the cortical cells all the rhizobia are liberated out. In the cortex lo the rhizobia is liberated out. So they enter into the root cortical cells, where the number of rhizobia cells increases, and these rhizobia they release certain hormones. By the activity of these hormones, the cortical cells also they divide repeatedly. అక్కడ ఉండే cortical cells కూడా అలాగా repeat గా divide అయిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. And inside the cortical cells, these are the cortical cells. Some round bodies are produced. These are called bacteroids. So in the next step, the bacteria, originally they are rod-shaped bacteria. When they enter into the root cortical cells, they change their shape to spherical shape, and in that spherical shape they are called as bacteroids. Bacteroids are the actually symbiotic bacteria. ఎప్పుడైతే రైజోబియం రాడ్ షేప్లో ఉన్నంత వరకు, రాడ్ షేప్ ఎక్కడ సాయిల్లో రాడ్ షేప్లో ఉంటుంది, కార్టికల్ సెల్స్లోకి వెళ్ళినంత వరకు రాడ్ షేప్లోనే ఉంటుంది. అది రాడ్ షేప్లో ఉన్నటువంటి బ్యాక్టీరియా నైట్రోజన్ ఫిక్స్ చేయలేదు. ఆ బ్యాక్టీరియా ఎలా మారాలి? ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు బికమ్ స్పెరికల్ షేప్, అలా రౌండ్గా మారిపోవాలి. ఆ రౌండ్ షేప్డ్ బ్యాక్టీరియా ఏమంటారు? బ్యాక్టీరాయిడ్స్. In the bacteroids only, these bacteroids, they are actually the organisms which are useful for the formation of these nodules. So if you observe, so because of the repeated cell divisions, the cortical cells they become more in number. Cortical cells in ఎక్కువైపోతాయి అన్నమాట. ఎక్కువైపోయి we can observe the formation of a swelling on the surface of the root. ఆ రూట్ సర్ఫేస్ మీద ఒక స్వెల్లింగ్ లాగా వస్తుంది అన్నమాట. So this swelling is called as the nodule, root nodule. మామూలుగా లెగ్యూమినస్ ప్లాంట్ మీరు ఏది తీసుకున్నా సరే, if you observe the leguminous plant, ఇలాగా lateral roots వస్తాయి. These are the lateral roots. ఈ lateral roots మీద ఇలాగ మీకు nodules కనిపిస్తాయి అన్నమాట. లాస్ట్ స్టేజ్ అన్నమాట. This is the first stage, this is the second, and this is the third, this is the fourth, this is the fifth, and this is the last stage of nodule formation. ఈ స్టేజెస్ అన్ని ఫైనల్ గా వస్తాయి అన్నమాట. These are the various diagrams. And finally, we can observe the formation of these nodules. These are called nodules. And these nodules, they contain these bacterioids middle of them. And these bacterioids are actually they are concerned with the nitrogen fixation. And soon after their formation, the nodules, they also establishes vascular connection with the host for the exchange of these gases. And here, nitrogenase, if you cut the nodule, then we cut if you cut the nodule, suppose this is the nodule. ఈ నాడ్యూల్ మధ్యలో ఒక కలర్ సబ్స్టెన్స్ ఉంటుందని చెప్పాను మీకు. రెడ్ ఆర్ పింక్ కలర్ ఉంటుంది. రెడ్ ఆర్ పింక్ కలర్. That red or pink color is leg hemoglobin. That is leg hemoglobin matter. That is mainly responsible for removal of oxygen, and leg hemoglobin acts as a scavenger, oxygen scavenger. We can call this leg hemoglobin as oxygen scavenger. And final equation also we have seen in our previous class, where nitrogen combines with 16 ATP eight protons, 8 electrons, and it is converted to ammonia with the release of hydrogen, 16 ADP plus 16 inorganic phosphate, and this is actually the enzyme nitrogenase. So nitrogenase is very essential for this process. 16 ATP molecules are required for the formation of ammonia. So for a single ammonia formation we require 8 ATP molecules. This is how root nodules are produced, and these root nodules are actually the sites for the formation of ammonia. Immediately after this nitrogen fixation is over, we can see the formation of ammonia. And then what is the fate of this ammonia? The ammonia next end avutundi. As a result of nitrogen fixation, finally we can see the formation of ammonia. Then what is the fate of this ammonia? Plants lo ammonia form aindi. The form in ammonia end avutundi. This ammonia, it is represented as the radical, ammonia radical. At physiological pH, this ammonia is protonated. Protonated means addition of hydrogen protons takes place. Ammonia formed ventane addition of hydrogen protons takes place. Addition of hydrogen protons is called as protonated, and as a result of this protonated activity, we will get this ammonia ion. So the fate of ammonia, the first stage is ammonia is protonated at physiological pH. It is converted to ammonium ion. This ammonium ion, it is toxic to plant cells. It should not be stored for longer periods. Ammonium ion ekku kaalam paatu plant cells lo undakudadu because it is toxic. Hence this ammonium ion, it should be converted to some other compounds which are essential for the formation of proteins. In the second step, synthesis of amino acids. So this after the formation of this ammonium ion, it enters into the synthesis of amino acids inside the plant body, and the synthesis of amino acids takes place in two steps. The first step is reductive amination, and the second step is transamination. By means of these two steps, ammonium is converted to amino acids. In the first step, that is reductive amination, acid, and it gives rise to in presence of NADPH, it gives rise to glutamic acid plus NADP in the presence of an enzyme called glutamic dehydrogenase. Glutamic dehydrogenase. This is the first step in amino acid synthesis, that is called reductive amination, where ammonium is reduced in presence of NADPH2. When ammonium combines with alpha-ketoglutarate acid, alpha-ketoglutarate acid is an intermediary organic acid produced during Krebs cycle. When ammonium combines with alpha-ketoglutarate acid in presence of an enzyme called glutamic dehydrogenase, we will get an amino acid called glutamic acid, and with the release of NADP. This glutamic acid acts as a substrate for the formation of subsequent amino acids. This is the first form amino acid. ముందు glutamic acid ఫార్మ్ అవుతుంది, దాని నుంచి మిగిలిన amino acids కి ఫార్మ్ అవడానికి అది ఉపయోగపడుతుంది అన్నమాట. This is the first step called reductive amination. In the second step, it is called transamination. The transamination means transfer of amino group from one amino acid to a keto acid. Gives rise to another amino acid. Here, transfer of amino groups takes place. Amino acids lo amino groups ఉంటాయి. ఒక amino acid ఒక organic acids తో కంబైన్ అయిపోతుంది. ఈ amino acid లో NH2 group ఉంటుంది. If this amino acid combines with one organic acid, this is called keto acid. During this transamination, amino group is accepted by the keto acid. So this amino acid is called as the donor, and this is called as the acceptor. And by this process, a new keto acid is keto acid 2. This is keto acid 1, amino acid 1. Keto acid 2 is formed along with the formation of another amino acid 2 by means of an enzyme called transaminases. So this process, this amino acid acts as the donor, this organic acid acts as the acceptor, and this amino group is accepted by the scatter keto acid. So by accepting this amino group, it is converted to amino acid 2. This organic acid is converted to amino acid. By losing this amino group, this amino acid 1 is converted to keto acid. You just observe this transformation జరుగుతుంది చూడండి. ఇక్కడ అలాంటి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అవుతాయి అన్నమాట. ఒక అమైనో యాసిడ్ ఉందనుకోండి, అమైనో యాసిడ్లో అమైనో గ్రూప్ NH2 ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట. సో అమైనో యాసిడ్ విత్ NH2 గ్రూప్ యాక్ట్స్ యాజ్ ది డోనార్. అది దేని డొనేట్ చేసింది? ఇట్ డొనేట్స్ this group is called amino group. This is called amino group. So it donates this amino group. Then it donate చేస్తుంది, it donates this amino group to another organic acid, then keto acid. So by receiving that amino group, that organic acid is converted to another amino acid, inkoka amino acid. And this amino acid, after losing this amino group, it becomes a keto acid. This process is called transamination. And the enzyme which are required for this process are called transaminases. And by these two processes, reductoamination and transamination, the ammonia that is formed, ammonium ion that is formed, finally it is converted to amino acids. The fate of ammonia, amino acids are produced. And in the next step, some amides are also produced. Amides. This ammonium, it first leads to the formation of amino acids. In the second step, it also leads to the formation of some amides. Amino acids ki amides ki difference ఏంటంటే both are having amino groups. Nitrogen, రెండిట్లో nitrogen ఉంటుంది. But when compared with amino acids, these amides they have more amount of nitrogen. వీటిలో ఎక్కువ nitrogen ఉంటుంది. So plants prefer these amides rather than amino acids. There are two types of amides which are more common in plants: asparagine and glutamine. Asparagine and glutamine. These are the two amides which are normally present in plants, common in plants. Asparagine is produced from aspartic acid. Similarly, glutamine is produced from glutamic acid. Aspartic acid and glutamic acids are the amino acids. When they combine with by the addition of some other amino groups, but the amino groups add those amino acids are again converted to asparagine and glutamine. Asparagine and glutamine. So by the addition of amino groups, ఇప్పుడు అమైనో యాసిడ్స్ ఫార్మ్ అవుతాయి ఈ రెండు ప్రాసెస్ లో. ఆ అమైనో యాసిడ్స్ కి మళ్ళీ మరికొంత అమోనియా యాడ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, దోస్ అమైనో యాసిడ్స్ ఆర్ కన్వర్టెడ్ టు అమైడ్స్. ప్లాంట్స్ లో సాధారణంగా రెండు రకాల అమైడ్స్ కామన్ గా కనిపిస్తుంటాయి. ద టూ మోస్ట్ కామన్లీ ఫౌండ్ అమైడ్స్ ఆర్ asparagine and glutamine. Asparagine is produced from aspartic acid. Glutamine is produced from glutamic acid. These amides are rich in nitrogen when compared with amino acids. There is also another amide called uride. Uride is another amide. This is normally produced from this plant called alfalfa uride. In presence of this enzyme called in presence of urease, and when nickel is abundant, this uride is produced in some plants called when compared with these amides are asparagine and glutamine. And another amide is also recently identified, that is called as uride. This uride is produced from it is observed in plants like soybean, where nitrogen is exported in the form of these urides. When compared with these two, these urides are more efficient in carrying the nitrogen to the plant parts. They have high nitrogen to carbon ratio when compared to the asparagine and glutamine. ఈ రెండింటితో కంపేర్ చేస్తే యూరిడ్స్ లో నైట్రోజన్ రేషియో ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ఆల్ దీస్ అమైడ్స్, ఇట్ మే బి వెదర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ asparagine, glutamine or urides, all these are amides are exported through xylem. Xylem acts as the channel for the export of amides. Okay. This is the last part of our lesson, mineral nutrition, and you just so far we have discussed about these things. These things just you note down these things in your notebooks and study these points. These are essential for your MCET and NEET also, and also for the IP also. Formation of root manganese, amides, synthesis of amino acids. These are all essential for your this intermediate secondary public examination also. So thank you.